I roam the fields without sound. Day or night, I'm homeward bound. No hooves to beat, yet I am free. What am I? Y'all are like, Andy's done lost it, too much YouTube. That's just a little riddle for fun. Go ahead in the comments, see if you know the answer. And what I'm gonna do is the next video, I'm gonna tell y'all the answer. So look at that, now you gotta stay tuned for the next video. Better ring that bell. What's up, y'all? I'm Andy, this is Epeius Garage. I wonder how many viewers I lost in that first few seconds with a stupid riddle. Anyways, if you stuck around through that, I appreciate it. You're probably my true followers. I have been given the privilege of sprucing up this rocking horse. It's a special rocking horse. The customer's father built it for her about 36 years ago. He has since passed. So this has significant meaning to her and her family, and she wants her grandkids to be able to use it. So I am honored to be able to do this for her. It's not in dire need, but it needs some stuff. It needs new handles. They're totally missing. The rocker, as you can see, is totally cracked and broken. Cracked is not the word, it's broken and missing. There's upholstery tacks that are either corroded or missing. We're gonna go ahead and replace those, as with the rocker on one side. This leather seat's in pretty bad shape. I'm gonna put new leather, we're gonna replace that. And some touch-up paint where the paint's either worn off or it's scratched off. Starting with the whole thing though, I'm gonna use a mild detergent and see where we really stand, how much of it is dinginess, you know, just old grime, versus how much I'm gonna need to actually sand, do some staining and whatever mechanical stuff I'm gonna have to do. So it should be an interesting project. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you'll hang around through it and see what happens and how the final project looks. So wish me luck. I'll see you at the end. I used a mild cleaning solution, Simple Green. I like it. This had a lot of grime and dirt on it. That alone made this look a lot better and kind of gave me a base to start at to see where I needed to touch up, what was dirt, what wasn't dirt. Gave me a good starting point. Next step, remove the rockers. One of them was totally broken, so I'm replacing that. And the other one I'm gonna use as the template to make the new rocker. I think the toughest part of this is gonna be matching the old stain, because one of two reasons. One, the old wood is older now and it's pine. Pine, as it ages, gets darker. So it also got darker with the stain. This is gonna be kind of tricky. I'm first trying out some stains that I have already on hand that I think might be close. Cross my fingers. If not, I'll take a piece of the rocker, take it to the hardware store, and see if I can find a better match. Nothing matched. Gonna have to go to the hardware store. Ran to the hardware store. This one, by the picture, looked like it was pretty close, called Gunstock. We'll find out. Oh yeah, this might be it. I may try mixing some of these if this don't work. I don't know. This one looks definitely better by the look. Oh yeah, I think needs a little bit of darkness added to it. I might try some mixing here. I've never done that. I ended up mixing the red chestnut and the newly bought Gunstock. The red chestnut by itself was way too red and didn't quite right. The Gunstock was almost there, just needed to be darkened a little bit. So mixing these two seemed to work out pretty well. And I'm happy with this result. I don't think I could have got it any closer. All right, so I ended up doing this a couple times because I screwed up. I started with this construction grade pine. Thought was to cut it, mill it down with my planer to the thickness I needed, take it over, template it out, and cut it out with my jigsaw. And then from there, I could use my flush trim router bit and go around it, and I'd have an exact copy. And it was all good and well, except the problem was that pine was crappy. And I ended up having to do this process several times. Got to go to the store and go buy better lumber. Ended up getting some furniture grade pine. Quick little update. This wood was not very good. It was construction quality lumber, and I thought it would work. It looked like it had a nice tight grain, and the grain kind of matched the other piece. But now the other piece, I kind of found a hairline fracture in it. So I'm asking the customer if she just wants to replace both. Plus, I got the stain close, as you saw, but you know, it's not going to be exact. I think it'd look better if it'd be less noticeable if they were both exactly the same. So I'm waiting on her response, but for sure, I went out and bought some quality furniture grade pine to replace. I got to do it over. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, cutting out again, as we knew I was going to have to. Same process, y'all. Only here you can see I'm roundovering it with a 1/2 inch roundover bit. And these flat spots are really important. Take note of that because later I screw that up too. Leave it to me. I sanded these down to 120 grit sandpaper. I did end up doing a little bit of hand sanding to get in all the little crevices and stuff, and just kind of give it a smoother overall finish. The leather on this piece was pretty wore out, almost holes in several areas. You can see the dinginess and just the worn leather over 36 years of use, storage, whatever else. So I went ahead and removed all the upholstery tacks and pulled that leather off. Let me tell you, taking the old leather off was a lot easier than applying the new. I bought a piece of leather from Amazon, fit perfect, went ahead, marked it, cut it out with a razor knife, and then I started applying it. I started applying it right to the front and just slowly stretching it around. I got the seat on. It was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. A few of the problems I ran into. The wood is older and more dry. The leather on this, the new leather is thicker than the old leather. So I had to go around and I trimmed it and I just slowly stretched it and put all of them in there. The upholstery pins, I tried to put them in where they weren't going back into the old holes so they would hold better. Overall, I think it turned out pretty cool. I think it looks pretty good. I think that's the first time I've ever put leather over something. Anyways, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I couldn't believe it, but I actually found these antique upholstery tacks online on Amazon. And so the customer said go ahead and replace all of them because some of them are really corroded. So I went ahead and removed all the rest of these from the entire horse. All right, I'm going to show you all a little trick here. I actually did a short on how to do this, but it is very useful. The hole where the handle needs to go was an odd size, so I decided I was just going to make it an even 5/8 hole. However, there's already a hole there, so drilling a 5/8 hole on top of a hole that's close to that, as you might know, is really hard. So what you do is you make a little template hole in a scrap piece of wood, and then you can place that over the hole you're going to drill and use that as the guide and go through and then drill the hole. It works really, really well if you're needing to drill over another hole. And in case you're curious on the handle, I simply marked the handle out where there was the thickness of the horse's head, and I put it in there to where there'd be 4 inches on each side of the head. Using a black outdoor paint, I touched up some of the areas that needed it, but trying to leave it as original as possible. There were also some areas that were scuffed up, and I sanded those, and I got my stain mixture that I mixed earlier, and I touched those up as well. Try to make the horse look as new as possible, but yet still original. Using my special mixture that I made myself, I went ahead and stained the rocker that I had made earlier. Horse is starting to look pretty good now, so I went ahead and started putting in the new upholstery tacks in all the previous holes. After that, I went ahead and glued the handle in place. I used Titebond Quick and Thick. It dries clear. It's really good stuff. It's indoor use, but I like it a lot, and it also sets up and dries really quick. Customer decided to replace that rocker that was cracked. Same process, exactly as before. From there, I stained it, and to get the red line, I went ahead and drew lines down the peaks and valleys so I could kind of know which way to go and kind of transfer it over, if that makes any sense at all. And then I used the same outdoor paint that I used on the touch-up, only red, and I put the red lines in there after that. While that red paint was drying, I set the rocking horse over the side and started applying the coats of lacquer to the horse itself. After the paint was dry, I applied all the tacks to the peaks and valleys of the actual rocker. This is where those flat spots on the rockers were important. Real simple, I clamped them to the rocker on the flat spots, lined them up with the holes on the mounting pieces, and pre-drilled my holes, and then I impacted some premium wood screws into the rockers. And that was really it. I didn't use any glue. After applying the rockers, I went ahead and lacquered those as well. In all, I put 3 coats of lacquer over the entire horse. I applied a little bit of leather conditioner to the seat, and that was it. He was all done. Got him done. Fun little project. I don't know if there's a whole lot for you to learn off of this other than my mistakes. Learn from those. And I will say that if you're going to build a rocking horse, obviously her dad did a really good job building this one, but there is one design flaw on this particular horse, and it's how the rocker points downward instead of up. Because what happens is it hits, and you hit that hard enough, it's going to crack or break this. I'm pretty sure that's what happened before. One of these, as you remember at the beginning of the video, was broken off. And the other one, after I removed it, I found the hairline fracture down it where the screws were. And that's what I think is causing it. If these were upwards, you could have a continue rock without a hard stop. If that makes any sense. Other than that, cool little horse. Happy I could help. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching.